What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 2v2 with Plum on his Deathknight. Here's the build that I was running for this one. I tried out Bless Focus in one of the matches, and that was actually the only match we lost, but I think that was just a coincidence. And I swapped it for Tyrion's Devotion just because I don't really think the 5% mana is super relevant, because you're really going to be going for a lot of drinks in 2v2. So I don't know, I'm on the fence about the Bless Focus and kind of swapping it back and forth. These are the PvP talents that I always run. I swap out Divine Vision for Denounce and Searing Glare sometimes, and also sometimes I'll swap out Ultimate Sacrifice. It just depends on what we're fighting. That's about all I have to say for the build, so let's get into the matches. This first match is against an Arms Warrior and a Resto Shaman. This is kind of a bad matchup because with Sharpened Blade, the Arms Warrior can kind of just run you out of mana. A lot of times our goal is to make it to the second Blessing of Summer, and when we make it to that second Blessing of Summer, we can usually get enough pressure to get a kill. So right here, Plum accidentally Fat Finger Strangulate on the warrior. He meant to strangulate the Resto Shaman, obviously. So our opener, a little bit scuffed. I do get the blind here, but we don't have quite as much pressure as we need. He does use Grounding Totem there. And so this is actually the second time we fought this team. The first time we fought them, I think I'm going to put that as like the next match in the video, so you can kind of see the differences between the two. The first time we fought them, it was really, really close, and I told them, I was like, okay, well, if we fight these guys again, I'm going to be going for drinks a lot sooner. And, you know, Plum was like, okay, I'll just kite and kind of save defensives for when you need to go drink, because that was their win condition the first time they fought us. They were like, we're just going to run the Paladin out of mana. So right here, also, we don't want to fight an Earthen Wall, so you can kind of see Plum kiting out of Earthen Wall as much as he can. He does get a blind there on the warrior, and somehow it didn't hit the shaman. I don't know what's up with that. So right here, you're going to see me go for a drink because I'm already at like 60% mana. So Plum pops IBF, and I'm just going to drink until I'm completely full mana. So I'm full mana. I'm also running Ultimate Sacrifice in these, so I can save him almost no matter what. I would have liked to have cast Tears Deliverance there, but I think I'm going to go for it here in just a second. We do have our Blessing of Protection as well, but I already used Lay on Hands just because I thought that, you know, it would be okay and I would be able to pick him up, but that was not the case. I go ahead and burn my bubble. I'm not worried about him killing me, and I didn't want to risk getting interrupted by the shaman or more CC from the warrior, or just any kind of kick. I didn't want to throw the match right there, which that Lay on Hands, like I said, not a great Lay on Hands. I just didn't imagine that the warrior was just going to be able to put out that much pressure when we were only at 40% dampening at the time. But now we're starting to get into that 45% range. The Blessing of Spring is coming up soon. I'm probably going to use it pretty soon once it's off cooldown. Yeah, there we go. Went ahead and used Blessing of Spring. So now the next buff to come up will be the Blessing of Summer. I'm going to go over here and Hodge the Shaman. He does Trinket, and Plum immediately strangulates him. We're getting a lot of kill pressure. I do blind the Shaman after that Strangulate, and it was enough to get the kill. So much smoother than this second match that you're going to see. Technically, this is the first time we fought him. That was technically the second time. I don't know why I put these out of order. But this was the first time we fought these guys. Also, a much worse map for us. Like, Blade's Edge is just, oh man, it's my least favorite arena to play on, hands down. Trying to get to Plum to give him the Blessing of Summer. The warrior is up here. I'm going to Hodge him. As soon as he trinkets, I'm going to blind him. So now he's just sitting that full CC, and Plum's just over here hitting the Resto Shaman. But if you hit them in Earthen Wall, which you see the Earthen Wall buff on the Shaman there, they're really, really tanky as long as he can stay in that Earthen Wall. Outside of Earthen Wall, you know, we can actually get the kill on the Shaman if the dampening gets high enough. Plum gets the double blind there. He's slowing the warrior. We're cast Sharpened Blade, and he just wants to connect on me. He just wants to run me out of mana, basically. He actually hexes me while the warrior's on me. I don't know what was up with that. And my Tears Deliverance is coming up here pretty soon. So you can kind of see the contrasting like styles of how we played this one versus the other one, and really how the warrior played the other one. You can see Plum going for the resto shaman a lot more, and he's actually chunking the resto shaman here because he, again, doesn't have that earthen wall. The warrior still doesn't have his trinket for another minute, so I go ahead and hodge him, seeing that the shaman can't dispel him. And now you're going to see Plum just kind of slow him over and over again. I'm going to give myself freedom. And right here is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of questionable whether I should have just kept running away and trying to go for a drink. I think I might go for a drink right here, yeah. So I do go for a drink, again, around 60% mana. I am running Ultimate Sacrifice, so I can always save Plum as long as he is in my line and as long as, you know, I don't get CC'd like that. But I did get the sack off right before I got rooted. I do go ahead and put up the Blessing of Spring, and I start just chunking heals out. Plum does get the double blind. So right here, we're kind of stabilized, but I didn't get back nearly as much mana as I would have liked. You can kind of see that me and the shaman are almost equal mana. Plum does get the full strang on him, so I'm going to come over here for a DR'd Hodge, just so we can try and get as much pressure as possible. We do get his wall out of that, and I'm going to use a Blessing of Protection here, just because the warrior blade stormed, and it looks like he has a few cooldowns rolling here. Yeah, he does. So not terrible. I do blind the warrior. He trinkets immediately. I go down and kick the lightning lasso so Plum can keep putting his pressure up. So again, kind of the difference between that first match and this match. Right here is probably when we should have swapped to the warrior, and since I have Blessing of Sacrifice back up, because you can see how the shaman's kind of tooling Plum, and I can't sit here and face tank the warrior. He does slow the warrior here. He wants nothing more than to just chase me down. So I'm also running the 5% mana from Lay on Hands, that talent, and it's basically just used for mana at this point. So right here, they are getting a lot of pressure, and again, I'm falling behind on mana even though I got the drink off. So kind of unfortunate. He does sharpen blade, and we're going to swap back to the warrior right here, which I think is really, really good. I probably should have ran to the other side there, away from the shaman, just to give us more kind of pressure. He does earthen wall, we grip. I mean, we get a lot of their defensives right here, but we're just not going to be able to get the kill as long as he is standing in that earthen wall. We do have one Blessing or Protection back, so we do have an out. I don't know, I guess, oh, I sacked the Hex. I was going to say, I don't know how the Hex broke, but I did sack the Hex. So right here, we also want to try and, you know, make sure the shaman is CC'd if we can help it whenever I do use Blessing of Protection, because he can just instantly dispel it off. So sometimes that's easier said than done. You know, it's not always possible. Again, really great app. I got thunderstormed off here, and so I'm trying to get back to him, which that was just poor positioning on my part. I was trying to get near the shaman to kind of kick him and CC him. Right here I do get feared, and again, we still have the Blessing of Protection. You never want to use it on myself there to get out of that fear. That's just a total waste. So right here, I do give him the Blessing of Protection, and I hodge, and then I had blind available, but I got CC'd. So I thought we were actually going to get the kill there. Really, really unfortunate. I'm trying to cycle through buffs. I blind the shaman down there, and then I'm just walking up here to try and, you know, help as much as I can. I'm going to cast Tears Deliverance. So we're running on fumes at this point. Plum does get the Strangulate. I think they still have Link left, so they really still have an out. I do go ahead and sack him. Remember, I'm running that Ultimate Sacrifice. I go ahead and Daybreak, and honestly, I should have used that Daybreak offensively, but he does have Spell Reflect up at the moment. We get the Link. I'm completely, you know, on fumes at this point. I don't have Bubble, you know, I have my Trinket available, and we do have Blessing of Winter up right here, and I do go ahead and cast it. I'm in a War Mastery Wallace, and you can see just how low we're getting. Plum blinds the warrior, which is like huge, huge play. I'm using my infusion procs, and I'm just trying to top him as much as I can. We have 17 seconds left on Ultimate Sacrifice, and I'm just trying to help Plum kill whatever I can because all my spells are essentially grayed out. Right here I am going to trinket that Stormbolt. 5 seconds left on Land Hands. You can see me kind of like spamming it. Everything's grayed out. I do spam it, so he's like at like 3% HP there. And we do have an infusion proc, so I sack this Hex, and I can start casting Flash of Light. He strangulates the shaman, and we get the kill barely at 66% dampening. So you can see the contrast difference between that, you know, the first match of the video and the second match. So we definitely played better the second time that we fought them. You know, this was not as clean as that first round against them. So this last one, I think I cut this one a little short because it was a really long match. It's against a BM Hunter and a Disc Priest, and my headset died at the very beginning. So this was like chaos. They got so many cooldowns from us at the very beginning because my headset basically flopped on us. I think this one would have been a lot easier. We actually have a really decent win rate against BM Hunters when Plum is on his Deathknight. It's I looked last time we played, and I think we only have like 3 losses against all the BM Hunters we faced. So that's pretty good. And I think all of them were playing with Druids. I don't think any of them were playing with Disc Priest. It's just all about, I don't know, managing cooldown. And then like the BM Hunter has to play really, really well on top of it. Like he has to know exactly what he's doing. He can't waste any of his cooldowns. Right here, I get DR trapped. Plum's hitting the Disc Priest. The Disc Priest gets sacrificed from the Hunter, and then Plum swaps to the Hunter immediately. He's getting his sudden doom procs. I go ahead and use my Blessing of Protection there because I think he used his bleed, and it looks like he used Call of the Wild. I think that's why there's so many pets chasing right there. You really want to use your Blessing of Protection when they use their like 1 minute bleed ability with the Death Chakram and then Call of the Wild, because that's like their big cooldown. So heads up play by the Hunter. He does scatter me when I'm going to CC the Priest, and it actually saves him there. Priest does swap. I'm going to try and hodge him on that swap. We still have Hand of Sacrifice available. He locks me on the Tears Deliverance. I didn't think he was close enough, so I'm going to Hand of Sacrifice here, and I'm going to run around the corner to cast Tears Deliverance. The Priest looked like he tried to fear, but it got caught on the corner there. That's unfortunate. I've had that happen to me on my Priest before. Plum does get a double blind. They're both getting really, really low, so I'm kind of just walking in here to try and help do damage. I go ahead and bubble, and I'm going to toss Barrier of Faith on Plum. Again, that's kind of just like bait for me to like bubble there because I'm just going for the kill, and if he wants to MD me, like he's probably going to die for it. Now, this is where it did get sketchy because we didn't get the kill. Normally, we're going to get the kill there. He casts Ultimate Penitence, and it just got really, really sketchy. Also the start of the match where my headset died and I was like trying to unplug it and plug it back in. Hunter walks into the eyeball there, so he's taking increased damage. They actually get off my Blessing of Protection immediately, so I guess either the Hunter trank shot or the Priest just got really lucky. So that was kind of unlucky on our part. We do have the Blessing of Summer coming back up, and that's usually just GG whenever it's at 50% dampening, and we do have that Blessing of Summer. It's just going to be oppressive damage. So there's the turtle. It does come out. Plum's immediately going to swap to the Priest. He blinds the Priest. I do have Hodge available, so I can Hodge. I can blind off that, but Plum said he has Strangulate, so I'm kind of just running at the Hunter here to do damage to him. And I think Plum's going to Strangulate him here in just a second. There he goes. He does Strangulate him. And so I still have blind available, but I was kind of thinking, oh man, do I need to go for a drink? Or are we going to get the kill? You know, it kind of got a little sketchy. I probably should have just kept running at him for the blind. But anyways, those are the games. Around 2100 to 2200 MMR. Not terrible. We're going to keep pushing. Hope you guys enjoyed these. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like. Helps me out a ton. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.